right, and here's the record in here. And there goes the encoder. And we are good to go.
What is going on? Welcome to episode 352 of the IT and the D Show. We are broadcasting live.
Bob, can we let's do one real quick? Guys, we're not doing anything scary this week. Fred Brown is not allowed near this broadcast. I am not staying up until 1 a.m. having conversations with freaked out people again.
We are broadcasting live from the PodcastDetroit autonomous zone here in beautiful Detroit, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Randy at Do the Twitters is doing the Twitters. Find us online at itandthed.com. You want to know why? Because we are IT and the D, and
you still aren't, not even with a pandemic going on.
And you're still planting a garden by putting topsoil over grass with styrofoam cups. It's adorable. What's going on? This world, I swear to God.
This is the world we live in.
Are they just doing things to humor me right now?
Dude, we are in season 4 of whatever show that we're all on, and the writers are all trying to get fired so they can move on to better projects, and they're just making shit up as they go.
South Park is sitting on their hands trying to release this Chaz episode. They have to be.
Oh, they are dying. So, well, hey, before we do that, let me go ahead and fire when ready.
Go ahead. Are you firing when ready? Fire.
Now you can carry on.
Fine. I can't. Dude, just watching what's going on in Seattle, I can't stop laughing. It's like this is a human South Park episode come to life. This is the Onion and Babylon Bee and the South Park all had a baby. And
dude, and now like bikers. Like, did anything happen with the bikers that were going out there today?
I didn't know if it was. I don't like talking about this stuff because I don't know if it's real or not. Because they're like, bikers are en route, and I'm like, oh, I want to see this. This is like a put pay-per-view on, man. This would solve the national debt in about 2 hours. Who doesn't want to see that?
Oh, that would be amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but if you haven't figured out what's going on, it's like they've like occupied a 6-block territory of Seattle, and to go against the injustices of the world, they've done the same thing the U.S. does by building walls.
The very first thing they did was built a wall
and have armed guards
and armed guards. Fight the power.
No. Apparently, there's some rogue independent rapper with his entourage that's like beating the shit out of people. It's like, dude, why isn't this a movie? Like, you wouldn't pay $20 a day to watch live cameras in there. We are living.
That's the dude. Whoever created Black Mirror season 6, the fully immersive experience, is just a goddamn genius. Like that's the only thing. That's the only way I can describe what the hell's going on right now.
Mark Burnett, you cancel cops and you don't give me Chaz. Like, come on. Like how
dude? There's got to be live feed. Actually, now that you said that, there's got to be live feeds somewhere. Like I'm sure.
No, they don't. Like they're like, I was watching something from Steven Crowder, and it's like some guy who's like always on the scene, and they took him and beat the shit out of him in an interrogation tent and wanted to see his film because they thought he was a conservative pundit. So there's like they actually have an interrogation tent, and I don't know if they're full of shit or not or making stuff up. You know what I mean? Like,
would that be Tentanamo Bay?
No, that's the thing with these tweets. Like, you don't know if they're like when the tweet came out, it's a day 2. They ran out of food because the homeless people stormed the tent. Like,
well, and then you've got Fox News using conflated images where they're photoshopping multiple images together to try to paint the situation as worse than it really is. So that's not helping.
So I don't know what's going on. I mean, basically what the guy said was, well, yeah, then you also have MSNB saying, well, it's a street fair. Like, no,
basically,
it's not a street fair. They took over City Hall and the police station. It's not a street fair.
Well, they didn't take over City Hall. They did take over the police station that the cops pulled out of. Yeah, I dude, that's literally one of those stories that I don't know what to make of it. I
want a movie. I want a TV show.
Well, dude, Netflix and Hulu are probably both offering just giant bags of money right now to whoever to get, film crews in there, to get the inside scoop and get a documentary rolling like they did with Fire Festival. It does. I mean, like if you look at like some posts, it seems like it's like I haven't seen anything like that since a Grateful Dead concert. And then you look at some posts and it's like Mad Max. Like I don't know which to
whoever's
buy
doing the
into.
broadcast. My favorite line I saw was it was like Lollapalooza '92. Those kids finally had kids, and they're there.
And they grew up hearing all the stories and decided
Right.
to go ahead and do it. Nice.
It's so stupid. Like it really is. Like after like day 4, and they're like, "What are we doing now? I don't know. Got any pot?" Like that's what I envisioned. What's going on? And then it's like Burning Man, like all the Burning Man people at night, and then they're like,
and what are you going to do when you run out of stuff? Because now you've got all the truckers that are saying, "I ain't going in there."
"Are those gardens real? They can't be real." It's like, did you see it? It's like 8 foot by 8 foot. It's like they just dumped like 6 bags of topsoil on the grass, and they like planted it like tomato. Like I keep getting
Be my
memes.
garden man.
No, like the Brondo. So
Plant's grave.
right. So anyway, I strap some cameras on people. Like seriously, you want to make money? It's like the George Carlin bit. Like you put all the mass murders in
All the square states. Yeah, you fence
Yeah.
off all the square states, and yeah,
This would be Seattle : Chaz would be the #1 show on all the stations.
Law and Order, Chaz.
Dude, seriously. And it's that rapper, whatever his name, Wiz Khalifa or whatever the hell the rapper's name in that it took over the town.
Oh, I don't, dude. I got nothing.
He's like the judge, and they bring everybody in front of him, and he's
Take him to Detroit.
Send him to whatever. I don't even know where I can't say. I honestly don't mean to laugh because this whole thing was built on good intention. I want to think.
Yeah.
Not to bring it back to reality, but like there was like things are starting to happen, changes starting to happen, and like, but now the ban hammer's gotten a little crazy. I think. Now you want to cancel Cops, which did get canceled, and then you cancel Live PD.
Yep.
And then like, did Paw Patrol get canceled, or is there
No.
a shitty meme going around?
People were lobbying for it, but no.
All right, it's one of those. No. People weren't. It was like 2 persons were.
So you had 2 people on Twitter, and
then it became a story.
Article.
Yeah. And then everyone talks about they wanted to ban Paw Patrol, but like, dude, like Cops was the one. Like, I guess I'm wrong. Cops was the one show that I said will be on until the end of time because you'll never have a shortage of dumb people.
Yep.
And apparently I don't get my fix now.
No, and like I understand. So like Live PD apparently had an issue where they did film a really, really bad situation. And but like, and it is. I mean, I understand some of the sentiment, but like now they're coming after like Law and Order, and they're coming after those franchises and that kind of stuff because they say they glorify the police. And okay, anybody who's ever watched Law and Order knows that's not true. I mean, you've had cops with drug issues. You've had cops, that have been raped. You've had cops that have been kicked off the force. You've had, DAs that have been, killed. You've had, I mean, no, that's not what that show is. Like,
I mean, since they had to dump Gone with the Wind, do they have to dump Andy Griffith's show now? Like, how far back are we going with this?
Well, and so, and we've kind of, somewhat joked about this before, but I mean, it is kind of a real thing. So, Amazon's talking about pulling the Dukes of Hazzard, but yet the Jeffersons is still on the air with George calling everybody honky. So I mean, is it, it's again, it's looking for balance.
That was the goddamn state flag, and up until how many years ago?
Oh, wasn't Georgia, yeah.
Yes. Remember that one car that they got all pissy about? We're like, that was the state flag during those years. So what do you how far are you gonna go with this?
Well, and it's and I get it, and I think a lot of people, like I was talking about it with like the Christopher Columbus statue getting pulled down, and a lot of the Confederate statues coming down and that kind of stuff, and he's like, oh, it's erasing history. No, it's not. Like the history is still there. It's erasing a monument to dumb shit. Like why do you have a statue of a Confederate general in your town center?
Here's a good. So I'm part of obviously lots of the German community.
Yeah,
and all of them are talking about how the differences are between keeping Auschwitz up as a memorial versus having General Lee on a statue, right? One is to remind people of the atrocities that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
They are not cheering or heralding. There's nothing to that, right? Where I think the difference is with a lot of these Confederate statues is that they're on a
People view
statue.
them as heroes.
Correct. They're it's not, you're not, the things in Auschwitz and like
and there's a difference between like an Auschwitz or like the Gettysburg Cemetery or something like that.
Yeah, you don't see any German statues of Heinrich Himmler.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, there's no statues to Himmler or Hitler or anything like that floating around. It is. I mean, it's you look back and especially when you realize that, I mean, the quote unquote Confederacy only lasted just barely 5 years. Like, it wasn't like a long period of time in history when that secession happened and it got shut down.
Yeah, so like, how did it be like anyway, and not to get too deep on this, but
go.
No, how did it from it became state flags, and then all of a sudden it became like the cry of the rednecks, and it became
the reality is, I mean, a lot of
Leonard Skinner and everybody, NASCAR and
dude in the South, I grew up in Virginia, and things are taught like the Civil War is not the Civil War in the South. It's the War of Northern Aggression in schools. And there are different names for battlefields that are taught, and that kind of stuff. I mean, it really is a huge thing. And because even though the Confederacy itself only lasted 5 years, what people tend to, I think, romanticize is I guess for lack of for the first word that's coming to mind is the antebellum, lifestyle, the gentleman callers and like the good parts of Gone with the Wind, minus, the slavery and beatings and lynchings and killings and all that stuff.
That was like my favorite book. What about all the good things Hitler did?
Right. Yeah. He had the trains. It was great. But it's the sad reality is people, people romanticized certain facets of that era and it became a Confederate pride thing. And so that's why, the South will rise again. You'll still see that, if you drive around, I don't understand people in, say, Michigan flying them, because Michigan wasn't a Confederate state and you've lived here your whole life and you've got a Confederate flag. Nah, you're just a redneck racist. That's all that is.
You got a lot of people that like their families, like their dads or their grandpas came from the South. Like I remember when Bubba passed away, and that was like part of his memorial, and that was 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like, and I joked back then, and I go, everyone take a picture, and I would go,
oh no, you were like, no, I'm not having my picture taken in front of them.
I'm like, this is the don't tag me on Facebook like area. Like,
no, but I mean, it's real, and I mean, it's and so it's weird. I mean, I can't say that I fully understand it. I mean, I grew up around it a little bit. And I have friends that, that were deeply entrenched in it. But it never made sense to me. I mean, that's why I love, everybody's worried about, they're not doing this in NASCAR. They're not doing that in NASCAR. Yeah. Don't worry. The real Confederate flag will still fly in that final lap when they're waving the white flag for the final lap notification.
No, I mean, that was the funny thing. It's like, I don't even watch NASCAR enough to know that was a thing. So like they're banning it. I'm like, I didn't know they were even there. So
well, so that's, and honestly, so there's like something to keep in mind, and it's a real powerful message that's going around right now, is that of all of the sports, NASCAR has come out, banned the Confederate flag, fired a driver for using the N-word when yelling at somebody.
Was that tweet real from NASCAR?
And has taken all these steps.
No, was that tweet real that NASCAR said we had to Google who you were?
No,
one guy, yes, no, that was absolutely real.
No, it wasn't. That guy doesn't even, I don't think so. I looked for it and couldn't find it.
It was, so I mean, that was a guy that had never won a race, and was a total idiot. Yeah, but he wasn't the one. He wasn't the one that got fired. He's the one that just quit, and nobody cared because, well, you've never done anything. But no, so like they've gone out of their way. That's NASCAR, like the most redneckiest, like Southern entrenched sport in the nation. What are you doing, NFL, NBA, NHL? And like it's if they can take such a hardline stance on this, where the hell are you?
I don't think I've ever seen. I don't know. Maybe I've never been to a game down NFL game down south. I couldn't imagine. Maybe tailgating, but it's not part of the. See, the problem with NASCAR is the fans are in the middle part
Mhm.
of the game. Like when you're tailgating, you're not part of the game in the NFL, right? So I think maybe that's, you know,
Gotcha.
then the tailgating is all done in private property, so you can't really mandate anything. You can't. You're not going to let flags in the arena, and there's none in the arena. So I mean, that's kind of. But kind of on an IT front, a lot of people are already complaining about it, not knowing what's going on. If you haven't read, it's on digitalattackmap.com, but the U.S. is under a huge DDoS attack right now, and like 15 major cell carriers are all kind of went poopy. The problem is when you went to that, when I sent you that map, Dave, it starts at like 2014, so you got to fast forward. Like when you click play.
Yep.
Yeah, so like US is getting slammed right now. Pretty much every major carrier now is reporting huge outages. Cell carriers are
Even with
huge outages.
Verizon's little press release, I thought that was cute. No. Everybody, other carriers are reporting outages, but not us. But no, I've seen people with Verizon that are reporting issues. So
I had a friend call the T-Mobile store, and what they told him was that they tried to fire up their 5G network, and things went haywire, and that it would take like 2 weeks to straighten out. Which, why would you want your store telling people that?
Yeah,
I would. I mean, obviously, also not true, but yeah,
turn it back off. That's
well, that's where I learned from it. Was
you roll that back from production?
Yeah, I learned that from. I learned what was going on from Rick Viv. He goes, 2020, great. That's all we need is for no more internet.
Yep.
Like, internet.
Can you even imagine? Yeah.
You want people to really go crazy. But hey, when we are on the internet, we need our privacy. That's why all of us have teamed up with our friends from Private Internet Access. They are an award-winning VPN provider with over 1 million customers all over the world. You can basically encrypt your data connections so that you can keep everything you do online confidential and secure. Your ISP, government, or hackers will no longer have access to your data. You get access to over 3,200 VPN servers in 46 countries. When I loaded the thing up, I basically bounced around to 6 countries and 3 in the US just to see what it would do. Basically, as fast as you click the button, you move to a different server. And they have dedicated apps for all platforms from Windows to Linux to Fire Stick and more. And you could protect 10 devices at the same time. And because they believe in transparency, they are actually 100% open source. And they've been editor's choice for 8 consecutive years. For PC Mag. You can hide your IP address, download anything safely, secure your bank transactions. And like my favorite story is my cousins who want Netflix in America. They basically got this thing changed to US VPN, and now that you can basically subscribe to any streaming services that have geo restrictions in place. I know, right?
I love that we're embracing copyright.
No, it's not. No, it's completely legit. It's just it's from a different area. Like I'm going to try it actually at my dad's for German content because the internet or the Comcast and everything, you can download pretty much stream every major language for TV except for German. So I'm going to see what
that's kind of cool.
they have. Yeah, absolutely. So basically the only one that knows what you're doing on the internet is you, guaranteed or pending you're not logged on to a whole bunch of things. Obviously your identity is going to track you too.
Right.
But, hey, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied with their service. Do us a favor. You can get your first 12 months for only $2.85 per month. That's less than a good cup of coffee. 76% off. Then you get months 13 and 14 are free. Do us a favor. Go to www.privateinternetaccess.com/IT to get started protecting yourself online today. That's privateinternetaccess.com/IT in the D for 76% off.
Nice. Hey, that was a good segue there, Joker, by the way.
You like that?
I did.
How do you know what? I'm going to get into this in a second. I had a bunch of arguments today. One of our guys at work, his name's Gordon, his last name. So every time they bring him up, I put a Flash Gordon GIF in Teams.
Gordon's alive.
Yeah, I could do a Flash. So of course, one of the guys, he's our pure storage engineer. He's like, what the hell? He's like 34. He's like, what the hell's that? I'm like, it's Flash Gordon. He goes, I don't know what that means. So I start dropping YouTube clips. And they're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I got this huge semantical argument about how Flash Gordon is one of the greatest movies ever. And he tried to tell me no. And I think he knows he's getting me fired up, right? It's easy to do. But I think I got one on my hands with you. You hated Joker.
I didn't hate it. I just said it sucked. And
Well, what's the difference?
so here's my issues with it. So if you haven't seen Joker, tune out for a minute or two because we're gonna get a little deep. Here's my problem. It was essentially the series finale of Saint Elsewhere, as directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and it was completely predictable. As soon as the scene happened with the girl down the hall, not knowing who the hell he was, I knew exactly how that movie was ending. And in fact, I even said to myself, please God, let this not be how they're going to end this movie. And sure as shit, that's how they ended the movie. Like that entire movie essentially being a dream sequence. Kiss my ass. And this is what
was it?
it was. And this is why DC sucks. And this is why DC.
But was it though? Wasn't that like, to me, it was American Psycho ending where you didn't know if, he was in prison, then got moved over to Arkham and he did all that shit, or if he dreamed it all up, like while he was going, like, you know what I mean? To me, that's the ending. It wasn't necessarily the whole entire thing was a dream sequence. It was interpretive. Like it could be, or it couldn't have been. It could have been real, or it could have been in his head, or all, to me, it was American Psycho ending. That's why I loved it.
No, sorry. That ending can only lead, in my opinion, to the conclusion that the entire thing was in his head. Just whether it's the interactions with the girl that weren't there, or like the other stuff that didn't. I mean, it's there's just no. That is not what that movie should have been, and especially after. Like I thought Aquaman was a great flick. I thought, Wonder Woman was a little long, but it was a good flick. I have high hopes for Wonder Woman 84, kind of redeeming it, mostly because I'm looking forward to the soundtrack. But and Shazam was good. And dude, you can't take a character that has had such buildup like the Joker. Whether it, from, Nicholson to, Heath Ledger and all that stuff, and do that to that character. No, like I that was such a waste of a movie. That was a bigger waste of a movie than Suicide Squad. That was terrible.
I'm not going to watch it because they just introduced a major renovation of the Joker and then completely ignored it. This new Joker isn't related to any other DC movie they have out there.
There you go.
What's the point?
Well,
and I just watched Aquaman this weekend, and I thought it was too cliche. The whole.
How do you think that? How is this Joker not related to any Joker they showed? It was Batman Origin.
Which Batman?
I don't know.
Was it the?
Well, it showed
Ben Affleck Batman.
So there's the
new Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, because it did show, but again, is it because that was all in his head?
Well, I mean, or was it? Or see, I thought he got thrown into prison when he was, during that whole riot, after the riot things, he got thrown into prison. And then, so some of it was in his, like, as he was progressing, some of it was in his head, some of it wasn't.
But so how can the riot thing have happened if none of the predicate things were real? Because
some of it was, some of it wasn't. I don't know. It was hopping in and out.
See, sorry.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty awesome. It was an awesome watch. And again, if you watch it like I do with wrestling now, like watch it like you're a 12-year-old. Granted, it's a little deep for a 12-year-old, but you know what I mean. I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it for being a different story. Like it wasn't what I expected at all, which was another reason why I liked it. I don't know. I enjoyed it for the service.
I heard it was dark, and I heard it was, a lot, it was a lot of mental stuff and that kind of thing. But I still didn't, I didn't have any expectations walking into it, other than, God, I hope this is a good movie. And I'm sorry.
See, here's the thing. Like, we watched, me and you are entertained by two different things. Like, right, you watch Law and Order and pay attention. I watch wrestling and go and burp. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we watch TV and movies for two different reasons.
Right.
Like, I enjoy, I'll watch Dumb and Dumber 73 times.
I love brain candy. Like that. I'm all about you. My taste in TV and movies is not that different than my taste in music. I love bubblegum pop. Like, give me, I can't tell you how many times I've watched Lucifer or I've watched, any of the other, dumb shows that are out there, because I'm going back and watching those instead of watching anything new because I don't have faith in anything new. But it's, like I said, I mean, just for me, Like
If you
from
look at it, if you look at it as American, like I looked at it as a parallel for American Psycho, like literally, you did like what Patrick Bateman, did he really think he was this assassin, or was he killing people and no one believed him because he was this Wall Street hotshot? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's sort of
right.
like it, but like in his head, he's killing people while he's going about his job as a hedge fund manager, right? That's kind of what Joker was to me in parallel, almost like they ripped off the same story.
See, and to me, it was a 2-hour plus version of the 5-second vignettes inside of True Lies, when Arnold Schwarzenegger would have those very vivid dreams of like punching Chet in the face and that kind of stuff. Like it was basically that for 2+ hours. And
I love how he's Chet forever.
He will always be Chet. But no, so I mean that, yeah. So like I said, I hard pass. And okay, so and speaking, because I watched it because it was on HBO. Just when I thought I had the whole HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max, HBO Ocho, HBO thing, like I thought I had that all figured out. Okay, now they changed everything again, and I want whoever is in charge of this shit. I want them on this show, and I want them on this show when we are back in the studio, so I can break
red bow on their head
and slap them. No, I want a Jeff Haas slap.
They of course you get my kid hooked on Looney Tunes, and then I can't log into Max anymore.
Why not?
The Looney Tunes, they were pretty funny.
Now it's $15 a month.
But I thought, okay, so again,
it was free for Xfinity subscribers,
right?
And I have HBO,
and it's not now.
And now it's not.
Okay, so it was supposed to be. So
maybe I did something wrong. But
okay, because it was so HBO Go is now going and being replaced with HBO Max. HBO Now is staying as like the add-on for like Hulu users and people or Amazon Prime members that just want to get it that way. But I thought the whole point was HBO Go basically was transitioning into HBO Max, where if you had the subscription, it was just going to go ahead and carry forward.
You know what? The people, I think the same salespeople that are working on COVID with the news are working on HBO.
No shit.
They can't explain shit.
Master good, master bad, master good, master bad,
right.
Master good, master bad, master good.
Can't go to. Speaking of which, we talked about my one concert got canceled entirely, which I'm sad about. My other one got moved to April next year. Did you see what the Flaming Lips are doing?
I thought that was hilarious. That was amazing.
I thought it was the Onion again, and it's not. They're performing.
I mean, wasn't it the Daily Show that showed it?
It was on Colbert.
Colbert, yeah.
There's basically 4. Like it's all this. I swear to God, Boy in the Bubble with John Travolta is becoming modern art.
Oh, it's dude. You can buy. So I've actually thought about buying those giant hamster balls. Like
right.
You can buy them off Amazon, and I've legit thought about buying them just to have a couple in the pool. And
wouldn't
see what
these guys, when they're sitting on these things, don't you fall on your ass? Like they're not stable. Like
no, and you have to be very careful when you walk, because that's the thing is like once you start stepping forward, then your back foot starts getting lifted up, and it's a whole like it's.
I'm looking at the picture and the crowd. There's like they allow like 12 people in a crowd that can fit 1,000 because they got these goddamn bubbles on, and like you can't move. Where do you pee? Like what?
I shout out to Ian who just said forget it, just rename everything HB No.
Thank you. Yes. But again, like what happens if the guy's on stage and he's singing and then he wants a sip of water and he's got to pee? Like you can't do nothing. You're stuck in these goddamn John Travolta bubbles.
Dude, I don't even know. Although,
it looks horrible.
Although where you're probably going to want one of those is if you're planning on going to Jobby Nooner, because apparently they've said to hell with everything. Ugh. We're having Jobby Nooner anyway.
Jobby Nooner. That's the biggest cesspool of.
I remember the good old days when the worst thing you worried about catching at Jobby Nooner was, crabs.
Yeah. Dude, there's nothing worse than going out into like 4 foot of water, and there's like 15 dudes with their arms crossed just staring at you, and you all know they're peeing.
They're all peeing.
They're looking at sub. No,
at a minimum.
Sub. Because like no one goes out like to waist deep of water for no reason.
Yeah.
And they all come back out. They're like, and the conversation continues. Sub.
Sup.
Sub.
Yeah. So not that it's been real high on my social calendar for the past, I don't know, decade anyway. But yeah, hard pass on Jobby Nooner for me again. Yeah.
So in some Detroit news, what's going on with Project Greenlight? That was kind of I thought that was a successful project.
It is. And we've talked about it on the show before, where one of the issues with any facial recognition system in general, and this is why you've seen like Microsoft and IBM have both announced they're getting out of facial recognition technology. One of the issues is the enormously high rate of false positives when it comes to people of color. Like, so basically, if you're white, you're going to be all right when it comes to facial recognition software. If you are not, it is as high as, I believe, a 70% false positive rate.
I didn't know they were using facial recognition on Project Greenlight.
Oh, absolutely. So the entire point of it is, so it's all, and we've all seen them if you've been downtown. If there's a green light out front, they've got security cameras and stuff that are hooked into the Central Police Department. And again, we've talked about this on the show before. The big complaint about it was the use of facial recognition technology, and when are they using it, and how are they using it, and that kind of stuff. Because essentially, if it's on 24/7, then you're constantly under surveillance. And the DPD came out and said, no, we only turn it on. We only turn it on when we get an alert from one of the participating business owners that there's been a crime, and then we activate it. And everybody kind of went, yeah, right. But to your point, this whole conversation comes. This whole conversation.
The other criticism of Project Greenlight is that it's pay to play. Like, sure, you can have security if the police will respond to you, if you pay.
Right. So to your point, the reason why you brought this up and the reason why I was on our story list this week is the protesters, the organizers of the protests and stuff downtown, sat down and met and had a meeting with the powers that be, and I believe number 2 on their list of demands was get rid of Project Greenlight, and a lot of business owners have come out and said no, because it has helped them increase safety, it has helped them make their customers feel more safe, and help their customers feel more secure, and help their employees feel more safe and secure. And so they want it to continue. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting situation to see how that shakes out.
My feelings on this crap when it first started, right? I'm like, no. And then it gets implemented, and then the business owners are like, okay, hey, what's the number? 23% crime is down at their establishments, and some of those places go through absolute hell.
Yep.
Trying to serve the public. So I mean, so part of me is like, again, it's not one of those things. How does democracy die with thunderous applause? Right? I don't think we're there yet. Having private cameras in private, it's private business. As far as I'm concerned, it's surveillance at private business. So I'm completely fine with that. Because
I mean, if you think about it, it is a very small step beyond us having Nest cams in our studios and calling 911 if something happens and turning over the footage. Right. It is simply one step further where you have that connection with the police department to be able to instantly transmit them stuff and give them access to your, to that feed and that kind of stuff, because it's, cameras under their control. So, I mean, I get it. But I do. I mean, like I said, with the enormously high false positive rate, I understand the concerns about it. I absolutely do. In a city, depending on which stat you want to listen to, 80 to 83% African American, that's a problem. Like that, that's a huge, I mean, that puts a lot of people at risk, especially
that was always the problem. Like when they had the blinking with cameras with like Asians, there was an issue. It always seems like always something with these technologies is always an issue with someone's ethnicity, right? Whether it was that, do you remember that or no?
Yes.
And then, the facial recognition thing, like, I think that's the crux. That's the crux of this whole entire thing is, he matches a description used so loosely, right? Which. Hey,
and just for what it's worth, shout out to Greg Walters. He's watching, and he had commented that there are plenty of live streams. And I said, hey, would love to see a few links. And so he's actually throwing links into the chat on this video if you want to catch them later.
Yeah, I totally will. So you know what? My favorite. You know what? I think this is if this was Chinese New Year, I think 2020 should be the year of the glory hole. I think we should promote that. I think we should make T-shirts. I think this should be a thing.
No.
Yes.
No.
So this is how weird this year has gotten. The New York City Department of Health. That's the best tweet, by the way. The New York City Department of Health encouraging glory holes was not on my 2020 bingo card.
Apocalypse bingo card. Nope, absolutely was not.
And I want to read this verbatim because I think this is hysterical. This is from the Department of Health. This is not from like Metro Times.
This is not
like,
the Onion. This is not
the Onion. But it's not even like the Metro Times or like New York Post or some rag. Right. This is the New York City Department of Health. Make it a little kinky. Be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers like walls that allow sexual contact while preventing close face-to-face contact. So in essence, a glory hole. And that's supposed to kill COVID. Randy, your thoughts?
It's not going to kill COVID. It's going to prevent the spread of
it. Is it though? Do you hear what they're saying? What I'm saying? It's not going to prevent it. How is it going to prevent it? So I can do this in your mouth, but I can't cough in it. So you're safe. Hooray. I mean,
it is transmitted by respiratory fluids. So if you're not breathing in somebody else is breathing out, you're not.
This whole year it's a throwaway year. It's so stupid. Everyone's stupid.
And keep in mind, if you pay attention to the latest conspiracy theorists, the world might be ending on Thursday, because apparently they read the Mayan calendar interpretation. Apparently, there's a thing with the changeover from to the Gregorian calendar, and it's basically lost 8 days a year, and so you add up that number of years, and basically the December 12th, 2012 is now Thursday.
Awesome. I'll see you on the other side. Speaking of New York, this is actually New York Post. And this is a problem going on right now without bars and restaurants and public places being open. There's no place to take a piss in New York. And so now people are just whipping it out anywhere.
Other than the streets. Yeah.
And then peeing everywhere. Basically there's drink windows selling to-go cocktails all over the city, right? Which is fine, but now where do I make pee-pee? And there's nowhere to go. Basically, this, as the story said, coworker saw some guy just coming down the street and pulling his pants down to pee, and she was like, "Nah, not here, man." They actually quoted that as an actual quote. Brilliant journalism these days at the New York Post. But that's been an uptick on the street. Most people go in a corner or have like friends open their jacket to cover them up. Basically there's I mean, back in the day they used to say, bathrooms are for public or customers only.
Right.
Now they don't even have them anymore. So
because they've got them locked. But, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you've been paying attention to like all the regulations that are coming out, or that came out for like, bars and restaurants opening. I've got two friends that own tattoo shops, tattoo and piercing shops. And dude, like the regulations that came out for them are just absolutely overbearingly insane. Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but I understand why a lot of places are going, nah, we're not opening yet. No.
Well, I could see for a tattoo parlor, right? But a bar's got to almost be as clean as like a freaking surgical floor at a hospital. Like, it's the stuff that they're making them do.
Yeah.
Is so over and above normalcy.
Well, or let's be real, the stuff that they're supposed to be doing. Like, I was talking, a mutual friend of ours, because I don't want to put him on blast, but a mutual friend of ours worked a shift on Saturday. And he, basically said, it was A, slow. B, even when it got busy, people weren't tipping at all. He had at least one walkout on a tab. And he said at one point, the door guy looked at him and said, "Hey, I'm just going to start letting people in without masks because I just turned away 7 people." And he was like, "Oh, hell no, you're not." Like, no, don't do that. Like, that's
what's the point of? See, the thing I don't get is you walk in with a mask and then you instantly take it off.
Well, no, you can take it off. No, so that's again, you're allowed to take it off while you are seated. If you get up to go to the bathroom, you're supposed to put it back on. If you're, it's exactly.
Dude, and they wonder why we get angry. Like, really? Like I can have it off here, but not there, and
Well,
it's
and
2 feet
so,
away.
because again, if you're up and walking around, you are more likely to come in contact with other people outside of your party, and that's what they're trying to do is basically limit contact. And it's like I said, one of the reasons why the studio openings got delayed was because I've got those no touch infrared thermometers on order, and they got delayed, and now they're going to be here on Wednesday. And I mean, cards on table, I'm not going to lie. That is, I truly believe that is far more of a touchy feely PR move than it is anything else. Because, I mean, you don't have to have a temperature. I mean, you can be completely asymptomatic and still have it. You can have a temperature, like you can just naturally burn hot and it's not an issue. You could have just like a normal cold and have a fever and it's not corona. So I mean, there's a lot of, but heaven forbid we don't have that in the studios, and somebody hops on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, Podcast Detroit isn't doing anything to protect people, because that'll happen. That'll be the next thing that happens.
Well, that was the thing I was making fun of people at work today. They started installing hockey glass between tables, like how we sit at like 6-foot white tables, right? Like IKEA tables.
Yep.
And there's just hockey glass between the tables, but the chairs there's no separation between the people and the chairs.
So now is it like us going to a hockey game? Are you banging on the glass and like chanting at the other people?
Right, but no, do you understand what I'm like? There's like imagine like glass on your table, but you can literally put your arm out and touch the person next to you.
Right.
So of course, I like the guys that are like they should have their own podcast. They're hysterical. I listen to them all day, and I'm like, oh, nice hockey glass. I'm helping, right? And they're like, they all start laughing because they know, right? They're like, oh yeah, look, I can just touch him, But that's what's happening.
That's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like the whole Chaz thing. Like, I want to believe that all of these rules and regulations are coming from a good place, but it's just not entirely logical.
It to me, just screams of I don't want to be public. I don't want to be on a public freak out video on YouTube.
Exactly.
Because I'm helping. I got my crocheted mask on, Alyssa Milano. Look at me. I'm doing my part. Like it's
right.
I'm doing my part. Are you?
Yeah.
Like it's become Starship Troopers. Like literally, this whole year has been like one dystopian like movie gone to hell and back.
Oh, for sure. Well, and contributing to it, I mean, here's the other downside. Especially with so many issues and everything else that people are dealing with over the last 3 months. So you've got the Michigan Unemployment Agency that's dealing with. Originally they had flagged, I believe they said 340,000 accounts. That is now up to 400,000. That they flagged for being fraudulent and issued stop payments on. And I've seen like a lot of friends that are saying that their accounts are one of those ones that are flagged and there's no way to get in contact with them. Like you're still on hold forever. You're still, you can't get through to somebody to actually like make this go away. And, and some people have had it like there for like weeks now. And I mean, and that's a huge issue. If that's your only, like if that's your lifeline right now, you're screwed.
Yeah, no, it's you're exactly right. I can't. I can't. I can't imagine. Like, here's the thing: that you have a complete spectrum of people. Half of them going, "I don't give a shit," and the other half going, "Protect me, save me, public shame everyone, all the things." Right? And there's not much. I don't want to say I'm in between. I'm kind of in between about it. When I go out, I'm safe. I don't go out that much, but when I do, I'm safe. And then for the most part, I'm keeping to myself. And but I'm not shaming anyone. If I see someone at the store, I'm not going to be like, "Look at you! I'm pulling out my phone and I'm going to post it."
Right,
I'm not doing that crap.
Well, so and actually, so there's a good question. And I was hanging out with the Tales from the Barside crew earlier, and Remy had gone out. He went out to a bar this weekend, and Lauren is kind of in the same boat I am. We're like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to wait. So like, yeah, I mean, like I've noticed, you've been out and checked in at a couple places on Facebook. Like, so what was the trigger for you that said, hey, and you said you were traveling with, Bo and Mags. Like, what was the trigger for you that said, okay, I'm feeling comfortable and safe enough that I'm going to go hit a couple places?
That wasn't a restaurant. That was a takeout window.
Oh, okay.
I ate in my car.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, and there's picnic tables. It was Doug Delight and that Italian beef stand.
Didn't you hit second base?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, just want.
And how, like, I'm just curious, like how, dude, I have yet to be in a bar. Like, what was it like?
There was the same two guys that are always there on the right,
Okay.
and there was like 4 people on the left besides us. And it was dead quiet. And
So everybody's sitting at the bar. Is it no
everybody sat
bar
at the
seating
bar.
at the table? Okay.
Yeah, there was like 3 tables set up. Yeah, I was in there for piece of pizza and a couple pops, and
Yeah.
got out.
Well, no, I'm just curious because like I know like Detroit Shipping Company, like they're getting ready to reopen and they're basically converting everything to outdoor seating. Like, and then they basically said, hey, you're not going to be able to walk up to the bar and grab a drink. There's, it's basically the inside is going to be open to go to the bathrooms. Everything else is going to be like table side service. Like, somebody will come take your order for food. Somebody will take your order for drinks and that kind of stuff at one of the outdoor tables. So I mean, I'm curious. Like as I've heard of people going out, I'm just trying to, me, I'm collecting data points and just trying to figure.
No, I think it's a sliding scale as well. Like I just told you, like how people are treating it versus the restaurant. Like some of them are being super precautious, and I think the dive bars don't give a shit. Like I don't, I haven't been to Duffy's yet. I don't know what precautions they're taking, but
you will never find a group of people who do not give a shit about the coronavirus more so than walking into a smoke shop. I'm just saying, like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, people kind of, there's a couple of people at work that are like single guys that usually every day go to the gym and they're like, and have a drink once in a while. And
right.
they are like, they've run out of shit to watch. They're starting to go stir crazy. They're working. I mean, I had one guy work 100 hours last week rebuilding DFS because that's all he.
What else? Yeah.
What else? Right. I got nothing. He goes out for a run at like 6 a.m, and that's all he has besides being on teams with us. And then so he's like, "F it, I'm just rebuilding." He rebuilt. Took Nasuni on with a couple other projects and rebuilt on-prem DFS. And then like, okay, cool, it's done. Like, wait, what's done? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I got nothing else to do. What am I supposed to do? I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I was kind of mad about too that I totally forgot about. Apparently now Legos, you can't buy the police station Legos. Did they actually pull that, or was that again one of those bullshit tweets?
I believe they pulled all of the advertising for them. And I think they requested stores to pull them off their shelves, but did not mandate, if I recall correctly.
Oh, all right. One of my favorite stories was
just turn those into collector's items, just so we're all clear.
You don't think I didn't look up to go buy one? It's like some bitch. Not that I'm going to sell it anytime, but you know what I mean. But
yeah.
One of my favorite stories this week, and we have like 42 stories, like the craziest.
Yeah, because we didn't get any last week. Yeah.
I always like when hackers do for the good of the public, and apparently hackers jammed all those Chicago police scanners with chocolate rain,
dude, which was amazing. Well, and we talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago, where one of the protest locations, somebody got a hold of one of the police radios and started playing NWA over it, and so it doesn't surprise me that this stuff goes on, and more power to them. But so on the Corona vibe, dude, this story blew my freaking mind. The guy that got coronavirus was in the hospital, and thankfully, like, he's got insurance, and like, the government has all these programs out to help waive deductibles and that kind of stuff right now because of COVID. His bill getting out of the hospital was 100 and some odd pages long, $1.1 million.
I was showing that to my wife because she's in the medical field, and I was going through the line by lines, and I said, like, the guy was 70, so I mean he was in ICU, so like every day.
He was in an isolation unit, as almost every COVID patient is. Like, I don't think that was like everybody that's a COVID patient is essentially put into ICU because they're put into isolation rooms, ventilators, and all that crap. By the time you're getting admitted, you're going into intensive care.
I can't find the story, but I want to say like every day it was like $9,600 for
the room. Another $1,100 or $1,200 for the ventilator. $1.1 million.
And I mean, his out of pocket was zero, correct?
Yes.
I mean, the story got shared from everywhere, thinking, "Oh my God, $1 million!" But like, and you wonder why healthcare costs are going the way they are going.
Right.
Just to be honest.
Well, and so I mean, that's the other. I mean, that's it's been interesting. in that same vein, with all of the off premise, like all the remote learning and all that stuff that's been going on. So Fraser, which is the school district I'm in, got approval to basically stay virtual for all of next year for all grades, which is going to be interesting to see how many people choose and opt into taking that route.
The weird thing that went on this year was you kids could opt for a grade or credit that doesn't affect their GPA. So most of the kids like had a couple classes which their GPA was based on. They were getting A's in. The rest of the classes they just got credit. So if you have two classes with a 4.0, your grade point is a 4.0. And literally like this has been me and my wife's life for the last month. Is every day. Your daughter has done 5% of her classes. She's going to fail, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to your kid. It's do the 12th, Dad. Quit bugging me.
Oh, I've had those same conversations. Yeah.
You have 12% done. How are you going to get this shit done? Do the 12th, Dad. Quit. Like literally, this has been.
Yeah. Then they're up till 4 a.m. the night before, and suddenly it's all done.
Yeah. Right.
And they need to ask you 30,000 questions while they're doing it.
Well, the weird thing was like they had them doing Khan Academy shit. It wasn't even like schoolwork. It was just like stuff they found to make you do.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, but like literally they're like, I like, thank God those texts are gone. Cause like literally every day I would get a text. This is your so-and-so's teacher for this class. Your kid's failing. Like, how are you failing? She's like, not failing. Like, and then it's this whole back and forth. Like, is the teacher full of shit or are you?
Right. Yeah. Who am I supposed to believe here?
But like, that's the thing that's going to happen. If they decide to go virtual all year at Fraser, it's the kids are going to not do shit until the stuff's due. And then they're going to cram it all in 2 days. And then, I'm learning. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of mix or some sort of, you got to attend to the Zoom class, the lecture.
Oh, and that's totally what. Yeah, there's still going to be some of that. And God, I can't believe when we were talking about like Paw Patrol and that kind of stuff. So apparently they're going to go back, or actually they're not going to go back, but they're moving forward. Elmer Fudd will no longer be carrying a gun.
I mean, in the newest Looney Tunes on HBO Max, I don't think there were many of him having a gun anyway.
No, he was a
pool owner.
Yeah, it was scrubbed down.
Really?
One of the greatest Bugs Bunny episodes of all time, the Leopold episode, where the guy was coughing.
Leopold.
Yeah, the guy was coughing in the front row, and he pulls out a freaking 6-shooter.
Yeah,
and blows the guy away. Here's the thing: we grew up on that shit. We didn't.
And we all knew the difference. We knew it was a cartoon and not real.
We didn't realize the racist undertones till we were like in our late 20s, early 30s.
So those were some of the older ones. Let's be clear. Yeah. I mean, those were some of the the old Injun Joe and like
the Crows
and the Japanese guy. Yeah, some of those. Yeah, but hey, dude, we were exposed to cross-dresser. Dude, Bugs Bunny was like the first cross-dresser I was ever exposed to.
Right, exactly.
There was nothing wrong.
Like, you didn't care. Like, here's the thing: like when you're kids, you don't care. Like that's the one thing of like learn behavior and all that. Like, no, I'm. Like I didn't bomb anyone. Like that was the thing that sucked, Randy.
I didn't
more than
run
anything
upstairs and put on one of my mom's dresses trying to be Bugs Bunny. No, yeah.
The Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner, there was like no dynamite.
They stopped showing the poof.
Bugs Bunny had a bunch of dynamite though.
Was there?
Yeah, like he was at the pool episode. Bugs pretended he was a lifeguard and said no swimming without a buddy. So Elmer Fudd, he gives the dynamite dummy to Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd grabs him and then he explodes.
But what's that?
Hey, Randy, for the record, Greg chimed in and he's having a flashback to the whole glory hole discussion. He said, "Hey, it's been found in semen as well. There's something I never thought I would have to type."
Yeah, I saw that one.
Screenshot that, Dave, and put that on.
Great moments with our members. We do what we can, in these struggling times.
No, that's what I put. The best response I saw to the Elmer Fudd thing was obviously some tweet from somebody that said, "I'm sure that Molotov cocktails, milkshakes, and pellets of brick will be acceptable replacements."
Speaking of Molotov cocktails, did you see that closed captioning transcription error where they put Mazel Tov cocktails?
Oh my God,
yes.
That was
so
amazing.
Then they added the picture of
the Orthodox Jewish guy with the guy L'chaim.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, speaking I was reading the article about the U.S. military might be losing the trademark to Space Force to the Netflix series. Have you watched it?
No, I still have not broken down and watched it yet.
The Orville office, as I like to call.
Right.
It's I don't want to say it's not good. It's not what I expected.
I've heard good
And
things.
huh?
I've heard some good things about
Well,
it.
like the problem is with some of these actors is when they get a little bit too old, they become characters of themselves.
Yes.
Like
Well, and some of them
John
become
Malkovich.
caricatures of themselves. Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you said characters. I didn't know if you meant like they were like
Caricatures of
okay.
themselves. No, like John Malkovich is in this, and he's like God, what's the guy's name that just got busted for all the porn in Hollywood? It's like him doing
Epstein?
John Malkovich, not Epstein. No, the actor that was in
Kevin Spacey.
Spacey. Thank you.
Oh.
It's like Spacey. It's like Spacey doing Malkovich. Like everything is enunciated, and it's a really hard watch.
It's Eric doing walking.
Yes, no, but Eric does a good walking. No, it's like a bad impersonation of Malkovich.
Gotcha.
Of Malkovich doing it, but like Carell is like always going to be Carell from The Office. Like,
yeah,
it's just the
40-year-old virgin, one of the two. Yeah,
right, and it's not. I went into it wanting to like it, and I still might like it again, but it's like it was a tough watch. It really like you had to wait a half an hour for like a good one-liner. You expect it to be like yuck, like The Office, like
you would think so.
And it wasn't. It was not the Orville Office,
All right. Hey, before we roll, hey, Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card. That's why they created Eno, the Capital One assistant that looks out for surprise credit card charges like overtipping, duplicate charges, or potential fraud, then sends an alert to your phone and helps if you need to fix them. Another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? See CapitalOne.com for details.
I always want to read the end like really fast.
Like the old Micro Machines guy.
Yeah, exactly. So like another thing that went on, like we always talk about TV and crap. I was dorked. Like nothing's better than like if you're a Formula One fan at all, like 1 out of 100 races are in the rain. So like Sunday morning, soccer's over. I flip to ESPN, Formula One, and it's in the rain, and I'm geeked, and I'm like, sweet, and I'm texting Tulio because
I'm guessing there's a lot more crashes when that happens.
No, it's just like with the mist and everything, it's just really cool to watch.
Okay.
It was effing video game. I'm like, son of you, like
what?
Well, they stopped. Yeah, it was like freaking kids playing video games. They were televising it, and they were using it in like the cinematic view, so it looked cool. I'm like, like I'm just like I got angry. Like I want, not that I'm dying for sports to come back. Premier League apparently is starting back this week. So I want to see how England is tackling it versus Germany with this, with the chants in the crowd. I'm hoping that they learn some tips.
Yeah, who knows? Oh, actually, hey, before I forget, we were talking about the whole Space Force thing. The reason why the U.S. Government will probably lose any rights to it is that Netflix is smart, and as soon as that project got greenlit, they filed all the trademarks everywhere for the words Space Force. And so
why wouldn't they?
Because why wouldn't they? And yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. That should be fun to watch. Can you declare eminent domain on a trademark?
Well, who's done Space Force since Reagan anyway? Or what did he call? What did Reagan call it?
No, that was Star Wars.
It was Star Wars.
Oh
my God! Did you see? What did the article I sent? The movie called, was it Starscream? God bless it.
Oh no, Star Crash 1978. Yeah, you threw that, and I saw it. Like it's on Amazon Prime, if I recall correctly.
Yes. So the reason I watched it was under my recommended on YouTube, and some guy said that this movie, Star Wars stole off this movie, but in actuality, it's reverse.
I was like, yeah, well, because if it's 78, that would be after Star Wars. So yeah,
right. So like, imagine like it's so bad. The Count is like from like a Mexican exploitation film, like Dracula. Like that's what he looks like
nice.
Edward James Olmos. Like it's over the top. Then there's David Hasselhoff is the Han Solo. The guy that's playing Luke Skywalker is like the greatest American hero, but if he was a meth head. And then the Princess Leia is like Barbarella, like Playboy Playmate in Barbarella clothes. And like it's so bad. Like the opening scene is like a crawl.
What was that? Battle Beyond the Stars. Do you remember that one?
No.
It had John Boy in it.
No.
It had the Valkyrie, which was basically the blonde Elvira in the super revealing dress. Yeah, so same, and it was like right out. So yeah, same kind of thing. Doesn't surprise me.
But like they tried, or they thought that this was like pre-Star Wars and Lucas stole it. You know what I mean? But like now, like, then they found out it was done a year after. You know
Like,
what I mean? But
there's a remake that we need. Or is anybody working on the Ice Pirates reboot? Like, I feel like that would be that
you
we're
just want
due
to see
for
a
that.
bunch of guys with their wieners cut off. Is that
Space herpes? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We need space herpes back. That's
Randy? Have you ever seen it?
No, I've never heard of it.
Like basically,
Ice Pirates. Look it up.
yeah, it's like it's like one of those yuck comedies from like the
Okay.
from like the
Early to mid '80s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like from like a Porky's era, and like I don't know, I don't remember why they had to cut their dicks off, but that was like a whole big part of it. It was like the
Oh, it's
unit.
got Angelica Houston and Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah.
Ron Perlman's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Bruce Valanche.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. Oh, and you shot a note across about Universal Orlando looking like a complete shit show. What was that about?
Oh yeah, no, there was just a guy I just had filming, like he was in a mask and he was basically doing a walkthrough, and basically it's like when you went on a ride, you had to stand like 6 feet. Like the lines were like 5 minutes long.
Okay.
Basically, you had to stay around. You had to stay 6 feet, between each other, and they were only running like every 3 cars on the rides. So like, it was basically a ghost town. Like they put in all the social distancing rules, but they like kept everything going.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then of course I'm like, my kid's 16th birthday. Let's do a weekend trip to Orlando, and I'm looking for flights. Flights got expensive real quick, dude.
Oh, did they?
Oh, they got stupid. There might be a couple like red
eyes.
Red eyes that are like $400, $350.
Damn.
But then most of them are like 600-ish. Like we looked for a bunch. Like, then the guys started talking about going to Vegas for fantasy football. Oh, there ain't flights jumped up quick because they're running at dead capacity.
Well, yeah, now they're desperate for it's rent yourself an RV and drive on down.
Dude, kiss my ass. You want my family in an RV for a weekend?
Hey, so apparently, I just want to make sure I'm understanding properly. If I take my PlayStation 2 and wrap a Trapper Keeper around it, it becomes a PS5?
Yes.
Is that what I'm getting?
Unless it's the other one. Did you see any of the games that they showed?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Oddworld series. I've liked that since day one, and that looks really, really cool. So
this reveal brought me back to a time, the first time I saw Super Mario in Nintendo 64 at Toys R Us, where there was finally the 3D world Mario. Yep. And I was completely and utterly mind blown and stared at it for like an hour.
Yep.
The way these games are done on the PS5, I'm like brought back to that moment as a child.
Oh,
like, they look
crazy.
Like feature films.
Yeah.
It's stupid. The problem is now, is it going to like look glorious and play like shit,
or is that the cuts? Is that the in between cut scenes? The movies, and not the actual gameplay. Yeah,
right.
With the hardware these next gen consoles have, it's pretty amazing. Like they're capable of 4K video and.
Yeah, comes with sold separately 20 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, no shit.
Save all the shit.
Oh yeah, all the downloadable content that's going to go into it, I'm sure.
Well, the PlayStation comes with a version that doesn't even have an optical drive, so you'd have to download everything.
Yeah, 7 days later,
it has a custom 825 gigabyte hard drive SSD in it, because apparently that was the optimal storage size to speed comparison. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Everything's in the cloud. Did you see did you get a chance to watch the EA Star Wars Squadron trailer that just came out?
Yes.
I want to say it looks pretty awesome. I just want to see what like the game. They didn't show any of the gameplay.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like Star Wars games by and large have always been solid. Like, so I've been going back. Like I've been. So like the dumb projects during lockdown, like I got all these retro gaming systems up and running. dude, the Nintendo 64, I don't care if it's Pod Racer or Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron was the best.
Dude, they're still amazing. Like, the graphics are still great. It's still phenomenal gameplay. Like, I mean, those are excellent games to play. So I don't doubt that will be a solid game as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Battlefront 2, for all the shit that they got the first couple of weeks of release, they really made up for it.
They cleaned that up quick. Yeah,
they've done tons of dev on it. That's one of the most fun, like, online games. Like, I don't mind playing, and like some of the scenes, like the Battle of Scarif and everything.
Yep.
Have you seen that on Battlefront 2? Like, now, like, dude, it's insane. It's like, you know. That's one of the best movies or best games I think they've ever made. Like, to be honest
for sure.
with you.
And so I like I said, I mean, I'm not surprised, and B, I have zero expectation that won't continue. Actually, so one of the things we didn't really talk about is, as bars and restaurants are reopening, there are some that are not. One of the ones that won't be is Hopcat in Royal Oak. They kind of like the whole Blackfin thing. They couldn't come to an agreement on, a rent jump from the building owner. And so they bailed out Hopcat. I believe the parent company of Hopcat declared bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So that's a whole thing. And that's and honestly, that's my biggest concern with kind of the relaxed, laissez-faire attitude that a lot of people have about this shit. Is if we go into a second wave of this and there has to be another lockdown, nothing is going to survive it. Like, no small business will survive another round of being shut down for 3 months. They won't. It's just not physically possible.
No, you're going to see 60% of all the small businesses basically. I just made up that number because 97% of all stats
are made up right on the spot. Yeah,
yeah, just like that one. But yeah, I don't want to, like, and it's all the mom and pops. The Walmarts and shit are going to be just fine.
Right.
The giant corporations.
Well, but no, dude. I mean, Hopcat is corporately owned, and they've got a bunch of locations, and they're not good. I mean, a lot of the
they also didn't do any business. They didn't open for takeout or carry out or anything like that. So,
but
it seems like the businesses that did carry out early, like Bobcat Bonnie's, seemed to do fine.
Well, but like Bobcat Bonnie's at least has more of a reputation for food as opposed to their beer and drink selection. Like, I can't imagine doing a call ahead order for crack fries and loaded tots. Like, that's just not
why you went there.
Yeah. That was stuff you happened to eat while you were there drinking.
A lot of the places that did like the $10 box, I think, did very well. It figured it out. Because I know, like, BFD by my house, which is known as a beer place, they were doing boxes of fruit, boxes of vegetables for like $10 a piece, and they were doing $10 boxes, and they were doing $40 family meal deals. So they just completely pared down, redid, and and then they had like the parking lot was cones. So like, here's where you drive around, turn around, and here's where you come pick up, and we're gonna put the shit in your trunk, and you're gonna pay me here with the church basket, and then get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? So I think the places that did that and adapted, I think that's like that with any business at any time throughout any course in history. Those that adapt are fine, and those that just sit are going to have problems.
Well, I mean, all bullshit aside, I mean, look at us. I mean, there's no way in hell I ever thought that we would, completely adjust to a virtual podcasting setup, for Podcast Detroit as a whole. No way in hell. And I sure as shit didn't think we would have new shows starting up during this time.
How good our podcast is? Stephanie Goodrich is listening on her birthday.
Hi, Steph.
She said you look like a 1950s detective smoking your cigarette there. All
yeah, see?
That's more the 20s, Dave. You jumped a couple decades.
Sorry. Well, happy birthday, Stephanie. Yeah, so I mean, it is. I mean, I am hopeful that as things, because I mean, realistically, like, I know I'm probably going to be downtown at least a couple days this week, getting the DSC studio ready to be up, ready to reopen next week. And so, yeah, I will probably hop by. I'll probably pop into Temple Bar. And see what that's like. I may,
probably.
Well, dude, I don't know that I'm going to. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been perfectly okay not going to bars. Like it's all about, it's like, talking with Fred last week. Like, where do you think your risk vectors are? Temple Bar, I'm not as concerned about because, well, it's not like there's a hockey game going on and that place is going to be packed. In fact, I love every now and then, like whenever Larry's working, he fires up a live stream off his phone, and then I take over the jukebox and play the Never Ending Story, and he comes running back over to his phone. Damn it, Dave!
I don't know. I don't have geofencing on those apps.
But so I mean, it's but I do, like, I want to pop in, and because I don't particularly envision that being all that crowded. I know Mikey and Augie, both said that whiskey wasn't that crowded, when they were there Thursday and Friday. So, I mean, I don't think, like, places like that, I am more likely to at least pop into and see what the situation's like. I do really wish, and I'm looking at you, Michigan legislature, would get off their asses and approve this whole drinking district concept, because I would feel much more comfortable if I could, get a drink and then not have to even sitting in an outdoor area, because I mean, even those can get crowded. Like
drinking your car like civilized people, right?
Exactly, while I'm driving around. No, no, but like, being able to take a drink and walk from DSC to Temple Bar or over to Jumbo's, or from Whiskey in the Jar over to Susie's, and that kind of stuff. Like,
Man, when have you ever walked from a bar to a bar? Give me that shit.
Dude, from Whiskey to... Dude, I've walked... No, you're the one. No, I ain't walking to Temple Bar. That's too far. It's around the corner, Bob. I don't care. I'm driving. You hop in the car or not.
I totally am. Damn right.
Don't play that card with me. But no, and I've walked, and so I've walked over to Temple, and I've walked from Whiskey to Susie's and a couple other places. God, Punchki Day. I was Lindholm and I were walking all over the place, going from bar to bar to bar. It's and I'm okay with that, and I would be more comfortable being able to do that than being able to, being forced to kind of be in a confined environment of any kind. Just because, again, it's all about risk points and figuring out, like, so yes, approve that shit. Let us roam around like majestic, wild, drunken buffalo. That's my thing.
I know. I guess I was reading about the gym industry is they're getting a little feisty. And he's like
24-hour fitness. I just saw today filed for bankruptcy.
Yep.
Yeah, because the owners are basically like, hey, I'm walking around this place sterilizing by the minute, and he's like, you're letting in those places, like Kroger opening up. I don't see anybody sterilizing anything, and you could basically be shoulder to shoulder there. He goes, Can you throw us something? Throw us a bone? Anything?
Well, but so, and I do. I think Fred covered that really well, because that was one of my questions that I asked him last week. Was, okay, so if health and fitness is a predicate to keeping this at bay, why aren't the gyms open? And is like his whole thing about increased breathing and the increased exhalations and all that kind of stuff. Like, even if you're wiping down the gear and all that kind of stuff, you're in an enclosed environment with people that are more rapidly exhaling and more rapidly putting shit in the air. That's a problem.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Like, I was watching Rogan, and he had not saying Rogan's a freaking expert on it or anything, but they were talking about, like, a lot of things no one talks about is trying to be healthy, taking vitamin C, taking your vitamins, eating healthy, like getting your immunity boosted. Like, apparently, like that's been like, I've never seen anyone really talk about it. It's completely off the table. Where it should kind of, it's like you should prepare for flying almost daily.
Well,
yeah. I mean? I got my two emergencies. I got my airborne tablet I'm going to take. I'm going to eat healthy today. No, I'm just, like, literally every time I flew, that's like, I would have a whole baggie full of like shit. Just like to make sure that I had my vitamins and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that I found, like, so, like, one of the nice things that I'm actually going to miss when this, all winds down, is I've had a lot more time to cook, and I've had a lot more time to, prepare stuff and that kind of thing. So, like, I know I've been eating a little bit healthier, and I know, like, I've been eating a lot more salads. I've been eating a lot more fruit. Dude, I have. No, not taco salads. I've been eating a lot. I've been eating a lot more fruit and vegetables and that kind of stuff, just because, I mean, I'm not constantly on the go, and I'm not, hitting a drive-through to pick up, McDonald's. I'm not hitting a drive-through. I'm not popping in a bar to grab some greasy bar food quick. Like, it's.
Oh, by the way, I I tried to get a shipped order 2 weeks ago. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't get an order. So I'm like, F it, I'm getting Instacart.
Yeah.
And guess what? I got an order in like a half an hour.
Dude, I told you it's a superior app and a better experience.
And then we tried Aldi, and then Aldi came. So like now I'm hooked.
I told you.
And I deleted shipped, and I don't know if people were quitting shipped on masks. I could not get an order for an entire weekend. Like nothing.
No, so I think so. The problem is that I think a lot of people were opting into Instacart because people were tipping better on Instacart, and so and then Shipped. Apparently, just talking with people, like Shipped has some really weird rules about like ratings and when you can grab stuff and when you can't grab stuff and that kind of thing. Whereas Instacart seems like a little bit more open. And so, like I said, dude, I've had a flawless experience with it since
I was getting tired of the SMS text. They don't have this item.
Dude, like, Instacart, it's all in app. I friggin' love it.
Right. You approve or disapprove of this. Yep. Like, approve.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want this or no? I don't want. No, just go ahead and refund me.
Yeah. I'm easy. This is how first world our house is. I had a blast yesterday. She's gonna get so mad at me if she hears me talking about this. Like we got a seedless watermelon and it came seeded, and I just hear this grumbling and yelling and who gets seeded? And I'm like,
what are you trying to grow a garden?
Like what first world? Like you pick them out. Like it's not like a mushroom where it leaves the flavor behind. Just pick them out. Spit them.
One of the stories I shared earlier too was Instacart is taking steps to discourage tip baiting. So now if you remove the tip, you have to leave a comment why. They reduced the tipping window from 3 days to 24 hours, and now Instacart shoppers can cash out their tips instantly, not just their regular pay.
Yep.
I can't imagine. For the life of me, I can't believe. Like
again, who are you that's what you're doing in life?
Yeah,
we talked about that a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's not like I've never once encountered anyone that was like, you don't deal with them long enough to figure out if they're a butthole or not. They bring your stuff to your porch and they're like, thank you. Like, you saved my day. Like, you made me have such a better day because.
Dude, that's the other thing I love about Instacart is it tells you how many hours you've saved. Like, hey, by using Instacart, you just saved 2 hours, by not going to the grocery store with
we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah,
I'm well aware. Then I got to see goddamn, school mom and got to play. Oh my God. Hi. Good to see you.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see you.
Well, but so speaking of that though, so I mean, that's one of the things that's becoming more and more of an issue is with all of the issues in the supply chain. So the price of beef just jumped 10%. They said the average grocery bill, I believe, jumped 4.5%, if I recall correctly. And like that's a major issue, especially as people have been out of work and are relying on unemployment that they may or may not be getting. You've got major beef packaging and processing plants that have been shut down due to employees getting the coronavirus and that kind of stuff. That's a I mean 10% adds up pretty quick.
I don't think people really realize what would happen if the supply chain shit the bed at any particular moment, even for a small
sure they do, Bob. Toilet paper.
Is that what's gonna but like do they really complain that on do they bitch about the supply chain for that, or do they bitch about people going crazy and hoarding? I think
true.
Everyone bitched about hoarders more than they did supply chain, but like if there's a legitimate supply chain problem, like I don't think people realize how much we depend on.
Oh, how bad it can actually get. Well, I think it was if I recall correctly, there was one that was in that article that was up in the Grand Rapids area that was basically shut down for a while because employees got coronavirus and they had to clean it, and then they were only operating at 30% capacity, and now they're back up to 60% capacity, but even that's slow, and low for what it needs to be. And they said, yeah, eventually it'll balance out. But it's going to take a while for everything to catch up and to get out there. And because they said that the one number that was like scary was that basically on the wholesale level, prices effectively doubled. But stores had because they had enough, in stock, they could kind of absorb some of that cost, and not have to pass doubling costs onto the consumers. But I mean, that's a real concern.
Well, as it should be. I mean, when you look at, Yeah, again, if anything panic driven is going to cause an insane shitstorm, regardless. Like if something it says it's sold out, there's gonna be a freaking panic. Like
Yep. Well,
so-
and so that's the other thing. I mean, even with, and I've gotten notes from I've gotten notes from Aldi shoppers, or even Meijer shoppers. Like they put limits on the weirdest things. Like you could only, because like I do a lot of cooking, because it's your favorite thing ever, mushrooms. I put a lot of that in the Italian dishes that I make. And like you can only buy 4 cans of mushrooms. Like that like Aldi had a limit. You could only buy 4 cans of mushrooms. That was
because
or
it's disgusting, and they
or
know
you-
if you eat 5, you'll throw up because it's gross.
or you could only buy like 2 steaks at Meijer, but that like, or you could only buy 2 packages. So like you could buy like either 2 individual steaks or like 2 of the family packs, and that was fine. It was just, like really really weird
Dude,
stuff.
This is one of the stuff that's making me laugh. One of my buddies that I grew up with posted shit on Instagram about like how he's like balling, holding his barbecue open, and he's like stuffed clams and burgers or whatever. And I texted my buddy that grew up that we all that we knew him, and we're like, man, that shit's straight out the frozen section at Meijer. Who the hell is he talking about? It's like those fake clam shells with the stuffing in it. I've seen them 100 times. I think I bought them once just to see what they. And he's like throwing them on the grill like it's some freaking Cape Cod shit.
You're fooling no one.
That's been my favorite part of this whole thing. Like people cooking trash, and then like they're so proud of themselves. Like I made Chef Boyardee, and like I effing microwave shit. Look how good it looks because I never cook for myself.
Which explains the run on toilet paper. I think we've covered that before too.
Indeed. And then my world's been opened up too for the charm and the good stuff. So we came close. I don't know if I told the story yet. We were 2 rolls left in the house with me and 4 women.
You who drunkenly orders 80 packs off of Amazon was almost out of toilet paper.
Well, it's like the 3 weeks, the auto ship, and like there was like a 2-week backlog on the auto ship. So like literally, all of a sudden I got like for some reason I got an email for Walmart, and it was like Charmin for $20. So like I ordered two like 48 packs. Oh my God, Rady, did you see the story with the guy with the pallet of toilet paper, and this woman starts calling him an asshole and a hoarder and starts screaming at him, and he's like, he's the stock boy, and she's like going, I don't know if it was like a written article or whatever it was, or if it was like a Reddit story that I watch like Mr. Reddit all the time on YouTube. But it was like this guy's like, I had to peel back my jacket to show my name tag so this lady would quit filming me and harassing me.
Wow.
Like who the hell I'm gonna take a pallet of toilet paper through the checkout lane. What the hell are they gonna say to you? What the hell's Dave doing?
Who knows? Refilling
He
his
just goes and
drink
takes arbitrary breaks without telling anybody. Yeah, go
he,
ahead, Dave.
He can go get refills and whatnot, but we're here.
Yeah,
carrying the show.
If I looked at my phone funny, he'd yell at me for 3 hours after the show.
So I just found some data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and it looks like ground chuck is up 76, almost 77 cents per pound from last year at the same time this year. And then boneless, skinless chicken breasts are only up about 26 cents per pound.
Yeah, when I was buying, I thought it was just because of supply and demand, not because the prices got driven up. I think I bought a couple pounds of ground beef. I think it was $10 a pound, if I'm not mistaken, from from Meijer. Like I was like, holy shit, it's like bacon pricing now.
Oh, yeah, dude. Even like the shitty split. Like even if you're getting like 70-30 fat content, it's up there. It's crazy.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
I mean, depending on what you're doing with it, yes, but yeah.
Have you completely run out of crap to watch on TV? Like I'm done. Like I got nothing.
I started Stargirl. It's pretty good. It's the new DC superhero. She finds the staff from the old Starman from the Justice League or Justice Society.
Is it a CW show?
No, it airs on CW, but it's actually a DC.
It's a
universe.
CW show.
No, it's a DC Universe show that they decided to also air on CW.
Oh,
so it starts on DC.
I tried
Universe,
watching
prescription.
Batgirl with Ruby Rose, and I
Yeah,
couldn't.
I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I think the villains are better than Batwoman on that show. Like, Alice is a great villain, but Batwoman is horrible.
Anything CW, I can't get through it. Maybe it's just because I'm an old fuddy duddy.
But the supporting cast in Stargirl is Luke Wilson and Amy Smart. It's kind of weird seeing like big names like that being supporting cast. Like, they're
What
the
are they
parents
like?
of Stargirl.
Are they the mom and dad?
Yeah.
Oh, come on! I hate that crap. It's like the Valley Girl remake where
I mean,
what's her nuts from Clueless is now the
Isn't it?
mom.
he's
Yeah.
also the sidekick, so he's the
Alicia-
dad and the sidekick.
Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
Yeah, Alicia Crooked Mouth. Yeah.
The world's worst Batgirl. Yeah.
Wow, that too. That Batman sucked. The George Clooney Batman. Barry.
I believe that's a universal truth. That is the world's worst Batman movie. Bat suits and nipples do not belong together.
Oh, that's right.
Speaking of Batwoman, though, Ruby Rose left the show, and they're gonna make a new Batwoman.
She's so hot
for season 2.
Yeah.
I would totally go gay if she would go out with me.
In other breaking news, water wet. Wow, there's real controversial hot take there, Bob.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
I don't want to go out on a limb here, but Ruby Rose is kind of hot.
I just thought that I was the only one. Like, I thought that some obscure film on the CW that I found. Like, wow, look at this.
That's outstanding.
No one's seen it before.
Yeah,
nobody's seen John Wick 3.
What's the?
I haven't even seen the second one yet.
Oh, by the way, did we talk about this last week? Bill and Ted's the new one.
Nope, we did not get to. Did we get to it?
I thought we talked about it 2 weeks ago. We did talk about it.
That it looks like a giant bag of shit.
It's gonna be a nostalgic. Okay, Mister, we watch TV shows for different opinions. Yeah, I watch stuff just to laugh and giggle. It's gonna be a nostalgic. Turn off your brain and just enjoy the giggle fest. That's what it's gonna be.
I think the age has finally caught up to Keanu. He finally looks like an old man. And he permanently talks like John Wick now.
Well, and it's what I'm interested in is
does Keanu talk like John Wick, or does John Wick talk like Keanu?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are they still
you should do
planning
that with the meme with the guy in the club looking up like the confused guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still planning on releasing John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 on the same day, or is that all shifted because of all the chaos?
I haven't heard anything different yet. I think it was far enough that
they really have to have Morpheus and John Wick. That's why I'm so sick of lazy casting.
Honestly, I'm at the point now where give me more of things I already know I like, and don't make me try to trust your judgment, because I do not trust their judgment. And I'm okay.
I've been down a wormhole of watching X-Men recast and going through all the characters of like who should be who. And like one of them brought up like Morpheus as Professor X. And I'm like, yes, no, yes, no, yes.
I can see it.
Like, yeah, I'd be down with, because like, again, after Picard, who the hell are you going to cast in that role?
Well, and I was talking with somebody about this last night, and I know there's a story to it, and I can't remember why Gambit didn't have a bigger role or like any role in the X-Men movies, so to speak.
Well, they had a standalone Gambit movie with Channing Tatum that just fell off,
fizzled out. Yeah, but I mean, like even in the movies, like you would think that they would have introduced that with Rogue at some point.
Wasn't it the guy from oh my god, why can't I think of the football movie with Billy Bob? He was the fullback.
Well, it was the Magic Mike dude.
No, but
originally when they had him in the movie, it was Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Was that the guy that did that shit ass Disney movie that flopped with all the dumb aliens? Is that his name?
That's you're gonna have to be more specific.
I always call him Riggins from Friday Night Lights. I never knew his name, but he did what's the biggest flop in Disney history? That shit ass alien movie.
John Carter.
John Carter. Thank you. Was that John Carter?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, why would you ever cast that? I'm sorry, that's a career-ending film.
He was Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, but wasn't he? Didn't he play Gambit in one of the the X-Men one? The one with
No, John Carter was somebody else. I believe.
I could have sworn he was Gambit because he threw cards and shit at Wolverine. Isn't that Gambit?
That would be Gambit, but which movie was that?
Taylor Kitsch. I had them backwards. Yeah, it's Taylor Kitsch, not Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. Which X-Men was Taylor Kitsch in? Because he was
Wolverine. X-Men Origin Wolverine.
It was the origin one. Okay.
Yeah, and he was John Carter. He played with Aaron Taylor Johnson in Savages.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I did. Yeah,
I got them.
Yeah,
backwards.
Origin. That's one of those movies that like I watched, but I didn't watch. And,
Yeah.
All right, my bad. But still, should have been a bigger character in the movies. I'm just saying.
I'm looking for like anything old sci-fi that I haven't watched yet. So
yeah, I did finally sit down and watch Dark Phoenix.
Oh God.
Again, from a dude, that entire like new timeline X-Men thing, I'm not a ginormous fan of to begin with. But like it was okay. Like it was decent enough that I enjoyed it.
You didn't like the Cold War, the X-Men Origin? I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah, I like the original, the First Class.
So did I. Yeah, that was great. Well, only because of the slow motion scenes. That was like the best. That was like some of the best.
Yeah,
scenes,
I mean, honestly, it was just one of those where like I don't like the weird, like, hey, we're gonna reboot this and like, okay, so it's almost like Terminator, like so Terminator Genesis, like okay, then Terminator 3 never happened, or the Sarah Connor Chronicles, that never happened, like that's the shit that just is weird to me. Is like
I thought it followed the. I thought it followed the story.
Crap.
I thought it was accurate, wasn't it? Did I miss something? Like I didn't know, like there were younger versions, and they showed how Professor X lost his walking.
It's supposed to be set in an alternate timeline. Yeah.
And Magneto was Bishop in the new Aliens.
Yeah.
Or whatever the hell he was called in this one.
Yeah.
Bishop.
What's that guy? That's another guy. I'll never know his name. He's in everything.
Oh no, I was thinking Bishop from Alien.
No.
Yeah, Lance Erickson. No, I got nothing.
That's my favorite thing too. Like take down Columbus, he murdered people. Put up Leif Erikson. The Vikings were nice to everyone. Not to jump around, but
no, I want. So I think where they took down the Columbus statue in Detroit is the ideal location for the RoboCop statue.
RoboCop, yeah.
And then every other one should be replaced with statues of Columbo. Hungary has a beautiful statue of Columbo, and I think that would be great.
Why?
Why not?
Why, like the bronze Fonz? Like
why not? Yeah, replace them all with the bronze. Dude, replace them all with Godzilla statues. I don't care.
First time I saw the bronze Fonz, I had to make my Uber driver go to it because I didn't know where it was, and then I made him stop in the middle of the street so I can get out and take a selfie with it. Then I came back in the car, and he's like, "Take me back to my hotel." He goes, "That's all we were doing?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, he kind of looks at me.
You better tip the ever living shit out of me, dude.
There's like a half a block around the city so I can take a selfie with a stupid, and he's got this stupid smile on his face. Like I don't remember Fonzie ever smiling.
It's a creepy smile.
But Fonzie never smiled like that. I don't even remember smiling.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah.
No, it was more like
especially when
a reclined grin.
Whenever Leather or Pinky Tuscadero were around, he smiled like that.
Who was it? Bill? I was talking about like, were you? Because I was saying take down the bronze Fonz. He goes because of his the thieving music. He was
right. He was the first Napster hitting the jukebox and stealing music. Yeah.
Right. We're not going to end the show on this. Please tell me we got so. Bronze Fonz can't be the end.
Bronze Fonz cannot be the end.
Can we make fun of Chaz some more?
Oh Jesus!
Human organs for sale on Instagram. Or human body parts for sale?
Yeah, because apparently skulls are a big thing.
Yeah.
Which isn't that that's illegal, right? Like you're not supposed to be able to buy that shit.
I don't think it's illegal. I think it's against terms of service for a lot of these services.
Well, it depends if you dig them out of a graveyard or not.
Yeah, a lot of these are like research cadavers that they don't have a use for anymore, so they sell them to collectors or whatever, who then trade them.
All right, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how to not have any friends and date anyone is have a human skull in your house.
Yeah, well, I mean, it worked for Michael Jackson, I guess.
Right.
Actually, here's one we didn't talk about. I thought there's the High Court in Switzerland ruled that employers are responsible for paying a portion of the rent for all work from home employees that they forced to stay home and yet work from home during all of this nonsense.
I would
work
love a
from
work from home stipend.
No, I worked from home for 14, 15 years. I didn't get a stipend, but I got to expense everything.
There was a tax thing, yeah.
And no, then I got to write off my home internet. I got to write off my cell phone. I got to write off. I got to expense a $800 ergonomic chair so I wouldn't be uncomfortable and file and go on workman's comp. I got to buy, like Google's giving $1,000 to everyone for outfitting their shit. So I guess it depends on percentage of rent. Like, what is it? Is it $500 a month for all your kind of expenses, or is it like your rent's $2,000? We got to give you half.
I believe it was a percentage, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that to me, I'm totally fine with it. See, now, I guess here's the thing. Like, are they going to figure out? There's a lot of companies are like, "Yep, we're going to work from home." A lot of companies are like, "Nope, we're coming all back," in a phased approach. Like the people, like I have people that that I work with that are killing it, being up till 4 a.m. and just freaking coding and redoing stuff and retooling. Like, hey, I just redid this, and they come out of the basement. But now it's like I gotta tell them, okay, you got to come back to work. And now he's miserable because he's got to get up at 7 a.m. and be at work
and come punch in, and yet, and that's the thing. I've been having that conversation with a lot of people lately, where is it short-sightedness? Is it not getting it? Is it fear of letting people work from home still? I mean, there's got to be a reason why companies would say, even though this has been perfectly effective over the last 3 months, we're not going to continue this practice.
Well, I mean, we were, when we were, the mandatory 2 huddles a day. Huddles are when you're on your huddle, your video's on, your eyes are up. Like there was non-negotiable. But like you had stuff to do. Like you couldn't not work. Like there was so much crap to do. Like people like right now, like mortgage industry, like you can refi right now for under 3%.
Oh, I know. I'm looking at it.
Rates are in the 2s. So like our business is through the roof. So like everyone in the business is all hands on deck. Everyone's working hard. Like there's even though you're home.
You cut out a little bit there. All hands on what?
Deck. But you got it. Everyone's busting their ass. Like,
oh, and speaking of which, I'm sorry, but God bless all of, or screw all of the places that have clipped the last 2 seconds off of that Pornhub commercial about the guy on Zoom that thinks he's off the meeting and sits down, grabs the hand lotion, and starts rubbing one out.
Everyone in America wanted that to be real. God!
But like, that was a Pornhub commercial, and the last 2 seconds of that showed that it was a Pornhub commercial. But apparently, somebody clipped it and started sharing it that way, and everybody thought it was real. And I'm like, oh well, hey, this is how fake news happens.
But because they wanted it to be real. Like that's the problem with fake news too. I want it to be real.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share it because these 3 people tweeted it.
It aligns with my beliefs, and therefore.
Exactly. I don't want to listen. That's why I don't. Did you read that blog I wrote about you? It's not about you. It's about 300 people on my Facebook feed. That bitch daily about stuff that retracted president's name said today, that they're shocked that it's
dude. I read it, and I mean we can post it, but I'm never going to apologize for it because I'm sorry. Like I am at the point now where I have zero tolerance for people that are not taking a stand about this shit. If you are not sharing articles and commenting on this shit, then you are part of the problem, and I will never.
Oh, you're gonna be that one,
no, dude. I will. No, yeah, I absolutely am, and I won't back down about that because, dude, I'm sorry. If you are quiet now, you are part of the problem because it has been too much silence for too damn long about this shit, and it's about time that people got pissed off about it, and it's about time that people got loud about shit. You've got the dipshits holding a almost swore rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, scheduled it for Juneteenth, the day that's the end of slavery, the most one of the most racist presidents we've ever had in our history, outside of Andrew Jackson. Let's say modern history. And you've got basically the health experts in Tulsa that are saying, please do not have this rally here because we're experiencing a COVID spike as it is. And they've got 800,000 people reserving tickets. No, it's bullshit. For an ego boosting grandstand, pat on the back, applause, yay me. No, I'm not going to be quiet about this shit. Like
I'm not telling you to be quiet. What I just said was, that I go, it's like you're surprised that the shit smells like shit.
No, it's not surprise. Dude, it's not surprise. It's again, it's the seriously, this is where we are. Like, and I mean, it has nothing to do with being surprised that the shit smells like
it's idiocracy. It's idiocracy. This is going to make us vote for The Rock. Like, this is what's going on now.
Dude, at this point, I would vote for The Rock. I'm not going to lie.
If
he would declare his candidacy, I'd be all about it. Because he cuts the best promos against Trump than anybody that I've ever seen.
Him and Jesse Ventura running third party. And that's the thing. Like, I was talking to someone else. It's like, this is the worst. This is the worst battle royal or like main event in like the history of our lifetime. Like, there's no like, I'm waiting for someone to come out of the woodwork and to be like.
One would argue that the last election was the worst main event that we've had.
That could be too, but this one's trumping it, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Right. I mean, at least the last one didn't say to train cops to shoot him in the legs. I mean, this is it's just bad. Like, and it doesn't make, as a country, it doesn't make us any better or it makes things any easier when we're looked at upon by the entire world. This is a shit show. It's a giant pile of shit show. And that's why I'm like,
it's every South Park election episode. It is giant douche or turd sandwich. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I've been trying to read about the libertarian candidate, but like, I know she doesn't have a chance in piss, but
right.
She's, it's like, again, like, you can write I like what she stands for in a few things, but like, of course, everyone looks good on a piece of paper. Like,
yep.
This is, I like this. Great. I like puppies and ice cream too. Like,
right.
It doesn't mean you can, stand toe to toe in that, but anyway, like, I'm just candidly, like, I just like, it's a pile of shit, and then everybody's like, oh my God, would you look at this shit, smells like shit, and the next day it's like, oh my God, that shit smells like shit too. Like,
well, dude, and I think like that's the crazy part to me, and honestly, like that's the thing,
that it's getting worse every day.
It is like, it is literally,
this shit smells more like shit than the last shit.
Exactly. Like, okay, it was cat shit, then it was dog shit, then like now, like, there's a moose crapping on my front yard. Like, tomorrow, like an elephant's gonna drop by, and I like, it's ridiculous. Like, I like it every time, and now, like, the conspiracy theorist in me, and like he scheduled it, or he let it be scheduled for Juneteenth, knowing that was going to cause an uproar, so that he could then try to look like the good guy by pushing it back a day, and yeah,
giving him too much credit, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, or the people in his organization, the ones that are left, that aren't his family members. It's like I said. I mean, it just, I have hit the end of my rope when it comes to willful ignorance. Like, I've always said, I'm not okay with, but I understand and I get ignorance, because that just means you don't know. Willful ignorance and like refusing to see shit for what it is, I have no tolerance for it anymore. And and like I said, dude, I've paid attention. I've had people block me. I've had people unfriend me. I've lost, and I don't give it. And I've done the same. I've dropped people over this shit, because it'd be like, oh, you're willing to lose a friend over politics? Nope. But I'm willing to lose a friend over basic human rights, and I'm willing to lose a friend over like belief that whether or not people, matter and deserve to have a life or not. Yeah, that's huge.
That's what the only problem. Like, that's why I hate Twitter so much, and that's why it drives me nuts. Like, stuff that is oh my God, my Alexa is talking. What the hell did I just say? Like, if we have bar conversations, they don't ever end up bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
If I send you an email in print, it sounds horrible because like you don't get inflection, B, we can't talk back.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
get body language, you don't get tone. It's
I've never had a bad political conversation in person because
Nope.
again, I'm one of the few ones that also I don't think I'm right and I don't think you're wrong. Like I think too many people just want to scream their beliefs and block
Or was
off
that
yours.
nobody wants to hear your beliefs. They want to hear their beliefs coming out of their mouths.
Your
Out
mouth.
of your mouth. Yeah.
That's why I always like arguing politics because I go, let me preface this with it. You'll never win because I don't think I'm right and I don't think you're wrong. Like we want to talk about stuff that's going on. Cool, let's go. And like I stay on top of everything, but like I didn't like if you would have told me like that this was going to be this big of a shit show in 2015 and a half when this thing came down the pike.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to don't forget though, Ted Cruz won Iowa like late. So like, again, it's not too late for like, that's why I'm like, can someone please come out of the woodwork? Please.
Dude, I'm waiting to see if Romney is going to make a run at challenging him for the Republican nomination. I really am. And I don't know as many, I won't say it's not rats fleeing, but as many people as you've seen jump ship from him in the last couple weeks, it's not like there isn't support for something like that to happen. And it's extremely rare for it to happen. But it wouldn't be the first time in history. So, I mean, I have hope.
Give me Oprah, give me Cuban, give me The Rock, give me Jesse Ventura, I don't even care what party they are.
Right.
Like at this point, it's not even about party anymore because like that shit's out the window as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Just take care of people, make sure.
Oh, dude, we've had this conversation a million times. Nobody is 100% one or the other.
Except for August.
There's shit that I'm liberal about. There's shit that I'm conservative about, and that's how most people are, and that's okay. It's the problem is that you have so many single issue voters or so many people that are party voters because their parents were, and they don't do, they don't.
That's a nice last name. Check.
Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, and sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a rant, but
no. It's a weird ass time and everybody's been cropped up. I get it. Everybody's frustrated and it doesn't make things any easier when you here's the thing that always pisses me off. And I talk to you about this all the time. Like this country has had multiple opportunities to unite again.
Yep.
Like the shit that happened in Minneapolis, there was a chance to unite and we united for like a half a day where everybody's like, yeah, that was wrong that this happened. We need to fix this shit as a country. And then it all went to hell. And who went to hell? The person that leads this thing can unite it or divide it very quickly and very easily by their actions. And it was a time where we all, had a common ground again, where we all thought the same thing. And again, someone shit all over it and brought us back to square one again. And it's frustrating as hell because again, I always talk about we need sports or something to unite us. Not saying not saying a tragedy is going to unite us, but if it can, why not?
For sure. Well, and dude, we talked about this. Like, dude, even Trump, if he would have just been the consummate sales guy and shut the hell up and just played the sales guy role and brought people together and closed the deal, life would have been good. But his problem is that he can't shut the hell up.
Right. And his advisors are probably like, I can't imagine the goddammits they say in a given day. God bless.
Amongst others.
I don't know what her title is, but the new press secretary.
Is that the third or fourth or fifth or 12th one so far?
Well, this one, I'm kind of half in love with her. She's if you ever listen to her, she's kind of awesome. She's just like she'll kind of spout, like, she's not a hack. She kind of spits back and says her shit and walks off the stage. It's kind of completely, she's like, oh, when you guys did this, and she kind of like doesn't take any shit. She's kind of like quick wit. I don't know. It's all a bullshit stage anyway. I can't stand
exactly.
it. Just trying to listen to it. God, I hate to end on freaking stupid.
I don't know. I was gonna say, either before I start drinking more, we need to close this out, or else I'm gonna get drunk and just start ranting.
No, we got Chaz to talk about, at least for the time being.
What's let's see, what didn't we cover? No, not that one, not that one, not yeah. The guy that owns Town Pump and Hot Taco, screw him. There's just that.
Well, he was always a butthole, but now he's like an asshole. Like, so now
yeah.
it's like everyone knew that guy was a complete
so actually, I guess here's one to talk about. Just here's one. Since we happen to be on the platform right now, the owner of Zoom came out and said, no, we're not encrypting for free users because we want to be able to make this stuff available to law enforcement.
I don't like it.
That's a PR no.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? I just took my big cash out and F you, I could care less.
I just shorted all my options and I'm good.
And you're going to use my shit. It's kind of like Walmart waving his dick around. Like you're going to go, you're going to shop there. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's all it is. You're going to use me. What are you going to use? Microsoft Teams? Like go buy that license.
And here's a shitty little thing that started happening about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Dear Google, stop inserting your goddamn Google Meet links into calendar events that I set up with Zoom.
That's right. I was confused.
F you and F everything about you for doing that. Like I had, the Alex, the American Whiner show that ran at 7:00, his guest was lost and was 5 or 6 minutes late getting. And Alex finally came on. He's like, hey, my guest says he's trying to, he's in the waiting room for the Google Meet. And I'm like, dude, we're not on Google Meet. We're on Zoom. Like what? And then I went back and started looking, and yeah, they're just like randomly inserting Google, hey, click this to join. There's no, I never set that up. Screw you.
They make one good step.
Dave, that's the benefit. There is nothing to set up. It just works.
Well, they make one good step. Well, they got rid of. Google. They could filter background noises. They did something good, and then they go do that, right? Like they could have been like, "Hey, we're gonna, have something awesome," and then they go and they poop the bed and they do something like that. But nobody's getting rid of Zoom. Not since we got the fancy backgrounds. The new thing at work, which is fun, is you take screen caps of people. Like you got to take one with Dave making a stupid face, take a screen cap, and then you use that as your Zoom background, like of him behind you. Like, so like there's you should do that, Dave.
Teams just added fancy background support too.
I've never done that. I do not have let's see. No, I certainly don't have you. Where's the man? I still love this one.
Wow.
Yeah,
I got out my Zoom game.
So there's when Stephanie's on Zoom, that's her background at her house. So I've got quite a few. I've got Augie in here somewhere. But honestly, I'm afraid to keep digging because God only knows what's going to pop up. So
The problem is I got 3 laptops. Like I got my work laptop, I got my home laptop, and like I got all the cool ones at work that I wanted here. Anyway.
Right. So, hey, for what it's worth, anybody listening at home, my new go-to shot, I have finally found something good to do with peanut butter whiskey because it is just, it's too sweet in and of itself, and I don't like it drinking. But peanut butter whiskey and Chambord, half and half, tastes exactly like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I highly recommend.
Who the hell buys Chambord?
Me. Have you seen Bob? You've seen my bar. You know what?
Yeah.
What don't I have?
All right. Well, hey, we're getting up to the top of the hour. How about we wrap things up?
Oh wow, it is almost.
Yeah. 11. We're gonna wrap things up for this episode 352 of the one and only IT and the D Show, broadcasting live from the Podcast Detroit Autonomous Zone. On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.
Hey, I think I have a bunker to go inspect.
See you guys.